So, Sadhguru, the question is that I am very attached to my studies and to my work, sometimes to an extent that I have nightmares about pending deadlines and pending assignments. At a B school where there's so much of competition and pressure, these problems have just amplified. And I feel very difficult to share this with my friends and family who are not here because that would worry them. I have a constant sense of despair, and I feel better only if I hear some good news like good grades, and even then, it's very short-lived. So Sadhguru, my question is that how do I build a healthy detachment from my studies and work?
Well, if you're detached, this happened very early on in my life. I was very detached from my education. So largely, I did not enter the school gates whenever it was possible. You will also become like that if you're detached I'm saying. So detachment is not what you seek. Right now, what you want is troubling you. That's something that you have to see. It is not your mother's party which is troubling you. What you want to do, you're here because you want to do this, and that's troubling you. Why is this? Well, there are many aspects to this. I think ISB has set up a certain stipulation that if you want to come and study there, at least whatever 1 or 2 years or whatever, you should have worked somewhere. Because they want you to come in a willing mode, not in an unwilling mode, because a whole lot of fresh MBA students may be there because of family pressure or social pressures or something. But somebody who's been working, gives up their job and comes back to educate themselves, that means they want to do it. Because there is no point working with people who are unwilling, you know. You are there because you want it. So what you want is bothering you because you're attached to it. So it's like this, let's say we put you in a football team. But you still did not know how to dribble a ball properly, and ball never comes to you. If it comes to you, it goes away. Naturally, you will be in despair, not because you're attached, simply because there's not enough work gone into it. So right now, is this business school beyond your intelligence? I don't think so. It is very much within your capabilities. It is just that somewhere we are thinking, this is a fundamental flaw in our education system. Somewhere right from your kindergarten school, they have made you misunderstand memory as intelligence. You think memory is intelligence. Well, memory was okay when you had to remember 26 alphabets, you managed to do it. When you had to remember whatever little mathematics, arithmetic, you know, I don't think they're memorizing anymore. When we were growing up, we were supposed to say in our sleep, they'll wake us up and say, 6 into 36, how much? You're supposed to say it. Otherwise, you're supposed to be dull. Not because you multiply in your mind, you people remember just like that. So, memory has been misunderstood as intelligence. In today's world, all of you are exposed to technology, you know, a simple machine that you carry in your pocket, a phone, has 10 times or 100 times more memory than you. So, your memory is meaningless, I'm saying, it always was. It is useful to a certain extent. So, what education should have focused on is raising your level of alertness or attention. Your attention or the quality of your attention can be raised to higher and higher levels. If that happened, believe me, whatever is happening in your business school is not a great challenge for you. It is not at all a challenge for you, I'm telling you. It is a challenge because you come from a education system where memory has been misunderstood. Because memory has been misunderstood as intelligence, you misunderstand thought as the ultimate thing. Thought is just a recycling of the data that you already have. You cannot think about something for which you have no data. Hello? Yes or no? You just cannot think about something for which you have absolutely no data in your head. So this means what? You will go on doing permutations and combinations of the same damn things forever, if thought is a premium thing. No, human attention is the real thing. If your attention rises to a certain level of quality, you will see everything, the universe is an unfolding for you. It is not a locked up space, it's an unfolding for you. Your genius will naturally unfold. So this business school will not be a challenge for you. Right now, you have to get off that, but you have probably 20 years of training as to how memory is more important than this, because all your examinations were structured in this way, that you drink up a textbook and puke it out on the examination hall. Under scrutiny, you have to puke, okay? Otherwise, you may pick up somebody else's puke. So, if you puke it under scrutiny, then you will be declared as the most intelligent man in your batch of students or whatever. So, this you must give up, not just for the sake of being in ISB. If you want to be a leader, you need attention. You must be able to grasp things for what they are, not for what you think it is. You can think whatever nonsense you want, but grasping what is there is most important, isn't it? If you want to come up with solutions, you have to grasp what is there. But if you're always thinking, first of all, your thought may not be in reality with the existence that is there. Your thought may be of yesterday, what is today may be totally different. This is happening to a whole lot of leaders, they're living in another time. This is not only business leaders or political leaders, even spiritual leaders, they're all living in another time. They're going on talking about something that happened 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. So this is because they're not alert to the situation there is no aliveness. Life is responding. Life is not remembering something that happened 100 years ago. Life is responding to what is there right now. So the same thing your intelligence has to do, it has to respond. If you respond, believe me, this will not be a challenge, you don't have to be attached or detached to it. That is not what is needed. What is needed is involvement. If there is involvement, there is attention. If there is attention, there is clarity. But right now we are trying to muddle ourselves with thought and memory, too much memory and thought process, so there is no clarity. This means our own intellect has become a kind of a cataract for the deeper intelligence that we are as a life. As a life, there is a fundamental intelligence within this. When I say there is a fundamental intelligence within this, if you… I was just about to say something else. You're a North Indian guy, you just eat roti, all right? You can put a roti in your stomach. If you are South Indian, there's one guy there, I think Arvind is there, he's tasted many more things.
Even I have tasted Sadhguru.
No, you taste it in North India, you taste idli in North. What I see is, as I move from Tamil Nadu up north, the idli slowly becomes harder. By the time I come to Haryana, it is like a golf ball. Anyway, if you put a piece of roti in your stomach, there is an intelligence, not even your head, your stomach has intelligence to transform this roti into a human body. When I say human body, I'm talking about the most sophisticated machine on the planet right now. Most evolved machine on the planet is this one, all right? This is a super computer. And you do this with what? With roti, huh? You have brilliance inside of you, but you are not able to access it, that's the whole thing.